He thought he got lucky. In fact, he thought he'd finally caught the break he'd been praying for. A remote job, high pay, no experience needed. It's the dream, right? But 48 hours later, his bank account was empty. Not just empty, it was flagged by the authorities. And the worst part? The part that keeps him up at night? He didn't just get hacked. He willingly gave them every single cent. This is the story of how a single email turned a desperate job search into a total financial nightmare. This is the work-from-home trap that nobody is talking about. Meet Mark. Mark was 28 years old, and like millions of others, he was at a crossroads. He had just left his previous job, and let's be honest, it wasn't by choice. When the income stops, the clock starts ticking. You know that feeling? The way the walls start to feel a little closer every time a bill lands in the inbox? Rent, utilities, food. The math just wasn't adding up. He did what any of us would do. He turned to the internet. He scoured the job sites, scrolled through the Facebook groups, and refreshed LinkedIn until his eyes blurred. He was looking for one word: remote. Working from home didn't just mean comfort. It meant saving money on the commute. It meant a fresh start. And then, there it was. A listing that felt like it was written just for him. Remote data entry specialist. $800 per week. No degree required. Flexible hours. Immediate hiring. It looked simple. Maybe a little too simple. But when you're hungry, you don't question the bread. You eat. Mark hit apply. Within 2 hours, he had a reply. The email said, "Congratulations, you've been shortlisted." There was no formal interview, no grueling Zoom call with HR, no background check, just a request to move the conversation over to Telegram for a quick onboarding chat. Now looking back, that's a red flag big enough to cover a stadium. Serious companies don't usually conduct their hiring via encrypted messaging apps before they've even seen your face. But Mark was focused on the $800 a week. He was focused on the solution, not the red flags. The recruiter introduced herself as Anna. She was professional. She was fast. She had an answer for everything. She explained that the job was simple. Mark would process company payments and verify transactions. "You will receive funds," she told him, "and you will forward them to our vendors. For your trouble, you keep a commission on every single one." Mark hesitated. It felt odd, but Anna was ready for that. She sent over a contract. It had the company logo. It had official signatures. She even sent a link to a polished professional website. Everything looked real. So Mark signed. And that was the exact moment the trap snapped shut. Day 1. Mark woke up to a notification. $1,000 had been deposited into his bank account. Anna messaged him almost immediately. "Please forward this to our supplier. It's urgent." She gave him the account details. Mark, wanting to prove he was a good employee, did it within minutes. Anna's reply: "Perfect. You're doing great, Mark." An hour later, another deposit, this time $2,400. Again, he transferred it. He felt a rush of adrenaline. He was actually doing it. He was working. He was part of the team. Day 2. The tone shifted. Anna messaged him with a new requirement. "To unlock your full employee account and receive your first salary bonus," she wrote, "you need to verify your payment capability. It's standard procedure to ensure our high-volume agents are secure." She asked for a refundable deposit of $400. Mark froze. something felt wrong. This wasn't moving the company's money anymore. This was his money, his rent money. But he looked at his history. He had already moved $3,400 through his account without a hitch. Anna had been nothing but professional. If he backed out now, would he lose the job? Would he lose the commissions he'd already earned? He convinced himself it was just a formality. He hit send. Silence. Mark messaged Anna to confirm she received the $400. No reply. An hour passed, then 2. He checked the Telegram chat. User not found. The Anna he had been talking to for 48 hours had vanished into the digital ether. But the nightmare was just beginning. When Mark tried to log into his banking app to see if his deposit had been refunded, he couldn't get in. He called the bank. The news was worse than he could have imagined. Those vendor payments he had been processing, they were stolen funds. The $3,400 he moved wasn't company money. It was money taken from other victims' hacked accounts. Mark wasn't an employee. He was a money mule. By moving that money, he had technically committed a crime. He had helped launder stolen cash. His account wasn't just empty, it was frozen by the fraud department. He was under investigation. His own $400 gone. His reputation ruined. It's easy to look at Mark's story and think, I'd never fall for that. But these scammers are masters of psychological manipulation. They use a 5-step playbook that works on even the most skeptical people. 1. The hook. A high-paying, low-effort job offer that targets people in transition. 2. The shield. They use official documents and polished websites to build a facade of legitimacy. 3. The test. They start with small, successful tasks to build your dopamine and your trust. 4. The sunk cost. Once you've invested time and effort, they ask for your money. You're more likely to pay because you don't want to lose the progress you've made. 5. The ghosting. Once the maximum amount of clean money is extracted from you, they delete the accounts and move on to the next target. So how do you protect yourself? It's simpler than you think, but you have to be disciplined. First, if a job hires you without a face-to-face or at least a video interview, it's not a job, it's a scam. Second, no legitimate company will ever ask you to move money through your personal bank account. Period. Third, if you are asked to pay a fee, a deposit, or for equipment before you start, walk away. Fourth, check the email domain. If Global Logistics Corp is emailing you from a Gmail or Hotmail account, it's a fake. Mark thought he was getting a career. What he actually got was a lesson that cost him everything he had saved. The internet is full of opportunities, but it's also full of predators who know exactly how to exploit our need for security. Remember, if you're handling money that isn't yours, you aren't the employee. You are the target. Stay safe, stay skeptical, and don't let a dream job turn into your worst nightmare.